All right, so to start you guys off, I am just going to show you exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to pull up the presentation guide. Here we can see our presentation needs to be at least 3 to 5 minutes. Should have some sort of narrative flow. Our introduction should include our name and branch. You can go ahead and omit the technologies used because we're all using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's not really going to differ from people. And then, of course, we'll need some sort of live demo. So if you don't want to previously record yourself using your application, you don't have to. Just be aware that that would require you to actually load up your app and showcase it live in front of an audience. So code, you can go over one component or feature that you're proud of. This isn't necessarily restricted to JavaScript. It can be like any part of your program that you like, any part of your application you like. And you want to make sure that you're able to walk through your code using the accurate terminology. So when we're talking about like HTML, we're talking about elements and attributes on those elements. If we're talking about CSS, we're just talking about styling and selectors. And then JavaScript, everybody knows, they're variables. We're using DOM in order to grab, certain elements off of the page, so on and so forth. And then a couple other topics down here, right? So I tried previously recording this, showing how to create a Google account, but it requires a phone number, and I only have one phone number. So unfortunately, I can't show you guys how to create a Google account, but hopefully you can get through that process fairly easily. And then what you'd want to do is simply come to your bar and type in slides.google.com. As long as you have a Google account, you'll arrive at the same place that I just was, but that's how I come here. So if we click right here, Template Gallery, we get access to a whole bunch of kind of pre-made themes or styles for our presentation. So I'll go with a very basic one. I'll click General Presentation. And so here, very easy, we can have, once this loads, we can title our project. So project, this is taking a little bit, name. And then down here you could say Army, Greg V. Right, so there we go. We already got our project name and our name and branch. This would be considered our introduction, right? Easy. Like I said, I really don't think technologies are that pertinent because every single person's technologies are going to be the same. It's just going to be HTML, CSS, JavaScript, /DOM, but really at the end of the day, JavaScript is DOM. So, I mean, we're all working with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So don't worry about the technologies used. That's not a huge point. So then you would arrive at your demo. So maybe instead of having this be, I'm just going to drag this up. Maybe you could say demo. And so here is where you would maybe have some sort of link. Let me insert a text box. There we go. So it's very rudimentary. I'll just try to do this real quick. We go to, google.com, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You have something here, and you can click it, and it would take you to where you want to go. It's up to you. Alternatively, if you were presenting, you could simply just get to this point and hit escape. And then at that point, you could go over to VS Code and then actually show everybody the work that you want to do. Otherwise, I would recommend trying to upload your video to YouTube. That's probably the best way, and then just hyperlinking your YouTube video here. So already we have the introduction. I really don't think technologies used is important. And then we have our demo. Very basic, very easy. So then going through your code or going through your demo, just explain one thing that you're really proud of and just make sure that you're using the proper terminology. That's really all this is saying at the end of the day. You just want to have that one component, feature, function that you're proud of, that you want to showcase and let people know. And then you want to make sure you're using the proper terminology, HTML elements, JavaScript variables, CSS styling, selectors, so on and so forth. Don't worry about project management. The only thing you'd probably want to worry about is challenges and successes, and I'll show you what that would look like. So maybe you'd want to come down to something over here, challenges/successes. So then over here, what you could do get rid of this. Come over here, we have the bullet points. If you don't see this, you can hit the dots. But I have my screen pumped out enough. You could say, it was hard using Git. That could be a challenge. I didn't understand DOM as much as I wish I did, right? So those are some challenges. We'll do the same thing over here. We'll erase the lorem ipsum. We'll go ahead and click on that same button. Again, if you can't see this, you're going to click on the ellipses over here. So we'll create another bulleted list. I can't believe how much I was able to get done in a short amount of time. I feel confident that I am able to create a personal project in my image, right? Something like that. So already we're all the way down here. What you learned. Maybe you want to include that. Maybe you could say, you know, down here. Now this is just a basic example. What I learned. I learned a lot about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I feel like I have a better place to start if I wanted to continue learning these technologies or something like that, right? Boom. And there you go. That's the end of your presentation. That's all that's required of you. Don't really worry about project management. That's Git, and again, we're all using the same technology, so don't worry about that. So generally, like if you can get the slides, this is all you need right here. Super easy, and we can get that professional-looking presentation for you up and going very, very quickly and easily.